you have to have the macro. And you would feel like the gunplay is actually probably one of the easier parts, or at least I would assume, because you can go train that really easily. Macro, you have to experience a lot of matches to figure out what to do and right and what to do wrong. And well, we're going to do something right. We're going to head over to our commentators with Hot Jukes and Claris to take us in to our second Ergo of the day, match 3.
That's right. That's right. Here we go into match number 3. Heading it straight into Ergo. Man, this playing path looks familiar.
It does, doesn't it? And so all these teams, we're going to see if there's any adjustments, though. That's what my eyes are on here, Hot Jukes. What happens over by Rozhok? I think D plus Kia, I think that they're smart players. I think they bail from what we saw at the start of the previous one. What do you think?
I think so, too. You want to avoid all hot drops possible. I mean, especially if you are D plus Kia. So trying to go for that vehicle, definitely don't think that's going to be the play. But I'd be interested to see if they decide to do the same. It looks like they are looking to stretch a little bit further south.
Not surprised in the slightest here. They'll have themselves some room potentially. But meanwhile, players are already down, man. Jeez, Box was down super fast here. Got themselves some vehicles below Yaz and going to be taking them on in. So very, very quick to all of it. But look, a GK might be trying to push on this.
Let's see if they're going to.
No,
not going to happen. Yeah, Box is going to go ahead, get in their vehicles, head on over to Yaznaya. Oh, boy! Look at that circle.
Yeah, now this is an interesting one because whilst we see all these teams drop down, there is the potential, a small potential, but a potential that military could still be included here. There's so much water that it does accelerate the game pace a little bit. So most teams will commit to the mainland, but Vampire knocked. Where are you knocked?
Yeah, that's going to be in Crates in South George. So Vampire having one of their players get knocked could be by either Alpha 7 or by Fireflux. We'll find out here in a little bit. Maybe we might even see that deadly Primorsk water circle.
Oh, man. No.
Come on. Bring it down.
Oh, jeez.
Bring it all the way down to the south.
It's been a while since I've seen it. It's scary.
Talk about competitive, baby. That's what we want to see. Hey, you know what? I took a swim in the pool this morning. So
you did?
I think I would like to see some players possibly do the same. Schweppes is knocked, but you can see Stoned got that buggy. He's going to go ahead and take it right on over to him. Oh, he was trying to get that. He was trying to get the vehicle for himself.
Yeah.
So that is why he got knocked in the process. Solus, I think, is out of ammunition.
Yeah, and I also think he was working with just a red dot, so Schweppes is kind of far away for that shot to be perfectly lined up. So understandable that he won't be able to get the full confirm on that one, as we do have them still kind of posturing for the moment. I think ultimately, Solus with that M16 was just, okay, I'll bail on the shots. I'll look for a better scope. Maybe I can actually get something going, but by that time it's too late.
Yeah, I think he was just very happy with just getting the knock and delaying their loot time. Just disrupting Vampire just a little bit. Plus, what that also does is it makes Vampire so much more paranoid going for that vehicle. So, I mean, just any kind of mining games that you can play at this stage, you're happy with. Fireflux said, you know what, I'm not going to get the confirm. Let me just get back to looting and move on from there.
Definitely so. 2023, the PMWI crate is available from July the 15th to August the 15th as well. And also you can check out the Esports Center for much more that is going on currently. So make sure to do that. But, you know, as we take a look at stock at the game here, Stalwart back down where they go. They've got Novo to themselves. There's just a little part of me that I feel like some teams might still stay on military. It's such a low chance that the circle would go there. But, you know, maybe some teams linger. Maybe.
It's such a gross play to stay, to be honest. Because if that zone goes back north, you're just stuck with your team and in the most horrific bridge ever. You're just like, do we really got to cross this bridge right now? And it's just so risky. So I wonder what Stalwart is going to do. Are they going to go ahead and stay in military? Yeah, it's inside the zone, but really?
Is it really?
Is it really? Then again, if that zone does pop over there by some, you know, Christmas miracle, you are so good.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, what you're talking about, an extremely low % chance of it happening. So I'm musing it, I'm entertaining the idea, but I do know how low that chance is. But anyway, as we turn our attention over to Rozhok, seems like GK have been very happy to win out the scenario in terms of even just the drop alone. But I mean, let's look at what D plus Kia has gained from, you know, avoiding that fight. I mean, they're in school, they're in apartments, they're in like that mini Pachinki area north of Pachinki that will garner them enough loot as well. So you circumnavigate the problem of a hot drop and you find yourself still a central decent spot.
100%. 100%. And that spot is getting taken by the second here as this zone is starting to get a little bit closer and closer. There's 3 minutes on the clock, and we're already starting to see majority of the spots going to be taken here in the next couple of minutes. Team's still kind of taking me a little patient with their looting. They want to go ahead and make sure that they're all set up for the rest of the game. But, you know, Stalwart, Team Falcons, even Alter Ego are going to have a long rotation here.
You talked about a concept yesterday, which was like how you drive and how close you stay to your teammates.
Correct.
I think Dami is probably regretting at present being this far away from his teammates because he had some shots going towards him. You can see him falling back for the moment. He's actually going to get out of his car and shoot straight towards 628. This could be a confirmed. No, it will not be a knockdown there for the moment. He's thankfully had the rest of his team rendezvous with him, but he was very far away. I was scared for him myself.
100%. Yeah, that's it's such a small part of this game, but it could actually be huge. You know, if you have your team closer together, maybe they were able to jump off, both shoot at him, get a knock and an elimination, which could have helped them out in the end game. But, you know, unfortunately, if you're too spread apart, then not able to kind of get that assistance. There's that perfect in between because you don't want to be too close together either, because if you're too close and there is a team waiting for you, your whole squad can get wiped rather than just one player.
Spray transitions can be easier from car to car, right, vehicle to vehicle, but at the same time, there is something to be said for, okay, you want your scout out in front, that happens, that's fine. It doesn't have to be miles out in front. You can still get the same information and still have your other 3 guys safe while still kind of being close. So, but I mean, they're all okay. We are just talking hypotheticals here now for the moment. Always good to get kind of these thoughts out there whilst there's a little bit of a lull in all the gunplay, all the action.
You know what, speaking of thoughts, I'll tell you what's on all these players' mind right now. It's that prize pool. Dude.
Oh, yeah.
So much money. And, you know, these teams that are currently at the bottom had a slow start. There's still a lot of games left to be played, but not necessarily because you do not want to wait to the end like we mentioned. So I think this is going to be a very important game for teams like Alpha 7 on the bottom of that leaderboard because it's crazy. I mean, 4th place, $100,000.
I'll take that.
3rd, $125,000.
Okay, I'd rather take that.
And then a $75,000 jump to 2nd with $200,000, and then a $200,000 jump to 1st place with $400,000. That is crazy.
I've decided which one I want.
Yes.
The 1st place.
I think that's the one I would take as well. If I had a choice, that's the one I would like.
Yeah, okay. So we've got to exert some, you know, energy to get there. Yes. Let's see if any of these guys are going to be able to hopscotch their way towards it. We'll see. As the circle is closing rapido, and Stalwart, Falcons, and Gladiators are still the teams here, completely in the blue. There are a few other teams with members on in, as they're trying to scramble their way forwards.
I like that rapido there, dude. I think I'm rubbing off on you.
I try. I'm trying to, you know, endear myself to you.
That's what I'm talking about.
Be part of your cult. No,
that's right. That is right. I had some eggs and toast for breakfast, so, you know.
Some baked beans.
Some baked beans.
Yum, yum.
Yes. Cheerio. No, I'm kidding. Here we go into this next circle. Where is it going to go? Are we going to see that toxic water zone?
Oh.
Okay.
You squealed.
I sure did. Because it's still... Hey, so you're saying there's a chance?
There is a chance. I'm not liking that chance, but there is a chance.
What chance is Vampire kicking themselves right now? Because normally they drop Primorsk.
Yeah,
right?
well,
So they're just like, oh, I wish I was there right now so bad.
Yeah, it's rough, right? I mean, trying to deal with, of course, at 628 down there as well. This is a replay.
Oh, okay. A little rollover.
This is an interesting replay. You know what? I appreciate that replay. We'll do that.
I like it. I like it. You know what? Sometimes you got to make sure that the roll cage on your buggy is secure.
Yes. You know, roll cage is very, very important. And, well, I wish some of these other vehicles would have roll cages if they were real vehicles,
100%.
but they're not. So, you know, we're fine.
Definitely wish to have one as well. But you know what? I would also like some reinforced tires because these buggies, 2-3 shots, that tire's out, you're spinning out.
They ain't got them.
And you're in big trouble. But
these are marshmallow tires, but speaking of marshmallow, he's gonna get roasted over here. What a great little angle he's taken.
Kai Daolan, is he able to go ahead and help out his teammate? He needs one more knock here. Meanwhile, the rest of Tianba looking to put that pressure, but they're not in a position to help their teammates at all. Actually, both of them did get knocked. Here comes the rest of Infinity IQ to take them out.
Let's go for the spray.
Great shots.
Very, very nice indeed here as Tianyu Moving up to try and reinforce this position, but here comes the boogie. He actually evades it and also evaded the nade. Is he going to be able to get this? No, he will not. Bensu coming on in. Tiamba out in 16th, and it does give rise to the idea of, they were saying it on the desk, so far, it's only a few games in, but the PEL team's not exactly had the easiest of times. We'll turn our attention to 628, see if they can do something in a circle like this, because it is good for them.
That was so gross. Oh my goodness. I mean, we almost saw one of the members from PMWI get naded by his teammates.
Almost.
Yeah, he
Almost.
just barely avoided it with that buggy. That would have been honestly nuts. Let's take a look here at 628. Oh, wow. It's going to take out Duello there from Reject Tokyo. Man, they have just been losing players early on all day today.
And defending their home, I mean, they've walked into the Dragon's den here when it comes to this. 628, they will defend it quite heavily. And also, they're taking those decent off angles on the hill that overlooks Primorsk, so that you have an opportunity here to be able to provide some strong cover fire, as long as the other members of 628 stay on, you know, this side of Primorsk to get things going.
Yeah, 628's definitely going to have an advantage here. I mean, since this is a drop location, they're going to have that little extra edge of just knowing all the extra little cheeky off angles. They know this place like the back of their hand.
Yep.
They've looted it so many times. So they're looking to find that here. Let's see where this next zone does go. I want to see another hard shift. Come on. This is the main tournament. Let's get it extra toxic all the way down south.
Ooh.
Okay, it goes all the way to the west side. We haven't seen this zone in a long time.
Yep, there's some compounds alongside that that beach on the far west side that actually sometimes, I mean, if we keep getting hard shifts, would actually be quite valuable. At the same time, though, the woods and the farmhouse still in play. I think maybe, if I'm correct, looking at this map, it's hard to tell. Fireflux might have taken up that position that I'm talking about. Looks like they are just over that ridge. That's quite strong as well, so we'll see if they can convert from there.
Lighthouse still in play as well. Alpha 7 holding the beach side of things. Meanwhile, look at 628 looking to do something similar, take some of this high ground. A lot of hills in this area, and this is what's so scary for these teams, because when you have the hills this large, sometimes you want to offer those 2-2 splits, 3-4 splits, but at this stage, at this high level, it is super risky to do so.
It's about to get wild. There's way too many players alive for this kind of circle here, so all of these teams are going to try and crash on through, maybe play it slowly a little bit on some areas of this edge, but you need to find yourself a dip, a divot, anything you can find, but for a lot of that, we're in the swamp as well. I mean, there's opportunities to find small little areas where you can.
Wow, Alter Ego with a very bold rotation do secure a place here. And meanwhile, they do get beat up in the process. You can see Tony K throwing out some smokes, looking to make the push here.
Yeah, that's really bold and actually kind of crazy. But, I mean, they might make it work with the smoke trail that they're throwing down. Killer going for a spray on Star Wars. They're actually going to take little casualties already.
Trying to hold that rooftop position and get those angles. He's going to go down to Icy. And that's going to make things that much more difficult for them. Stalwart doing a great job. Trades back, going back and forth between Stalwart and DRS. Delta looking to hit this nade. He really needs to. It looks good.
It does look good.
Made in the bank on a silver platter. He misses it. Can he thread it through the door?
He thought they were in the shack. If they were in the shack, that hits, but they were behind it slightly. So they were playing with their opponent's expectations as to whether or not it was going to be good. DRS falling for the trap. Oh, he sees him. Dead to rights.
Yeah, speaking of trap, I mean, just falling straight into it. Delta, can he get the 1v2? One more shot. Jump shot there from Stalwart. Does it hit? And Delta going to go ahead and use that broken wall to get a first aid off. So DRS Gaming absolutely crushing Stalwart Esports.
Delta's played this fight really well, and Action's the off angle that just doesn't really have an angle on this from the long woods. So they've been kind of separated quite heavily in this fight. DRS has done a pretty good job of it. Icy's still here.
Let me ask you the question, right? If you're DRS here, do you push and try to get that extra elimination on Icy, or do you cut your losses and try to get into this next circle?
I think if you try and get into this next circle, you open yourself up to Action very quickly on the angles. So I think you probably have to finish this off and probably leave Action to his lonesome and then move.
All right, well, we'll see what Carrillo's going to do. And I'll tell you what, he's going over with some nice runovers onto Reject Tokyo, which have had a really rough start here in this tournament. So far, holding up the goose egg. It's just Sara left, and he is wishing his team was holding the shack with him, but which would have been a really good spot in this zone. But unfortunately, all his team is out of there, and I'm surprised to see him actually even leaving that shack.
Yep. Gonna try for it as we see DRS here actually being blasted by Icy. Icy is able to deal with this so heavily. They tried to leave, as you posed the question, but you can't leave when you're leaving people on off angles, leaving behind. They will just kind of cause you absolute devastation, and Icy was able to do so.
This is exactly why we talked about it a little earlier, right? If they would have just pushed, took out Icy, got the elimination, they would have had a clear push inside. But instead, they prioritized rotation, and now they're paying for it big time. They lost pretty much everybody.
Action has a spot in the circle as well. Icy could maybe send to it. Depends if he has a vehicle. But anyway, we're seeing Infinity IQ trying to dislodge the position of Gladiators. A lot of nades going forward. That one's way off the mark. They don't have full information, clearly, with a throw like that. DRS is gone.
Oh, DRS eliminated. So a mistake coming out from them. Hopefully they're able to fix that in a future match. You know, every time I see these nades, I start thinking about what you talked about earlier, right? How important it is,
them.
yes, to hold on to them for that late game. Those blind nades just, oh man, they come to really bite you in the end.
They can. They really can. Maybe he had some different information earlier and then trying for it, but as we look back, you can see a great play by Delta coming in. You can see on the minimap in the top right as well just how far Action was. He's trying to hit some shots against this wall, but when there's only so many small spots in the wall to try and hit that shot and your opponent's bouncing around with a DBS against a close-range opponent, it's hard to hit them.
Yeah, and that's what really separates, I think, these insane top players versus great players, right? The ability to find that beautiful off angle that's able to support your teammate no matter what. Sometimes you can find a decent one, but if they're behind a broken wall like that, there's not really anything you can do. So, yeah, I think that he maybe figured that he had his teammate covered, but wasn't able to do so. So that's kind of tough. Let's see where this next zone's going to go, though. 1 minute left on the clock. We got a little bit of a standstill. This is the calm before the storm.
Oh, yeah, definitely is. Icy's trying to thread the needle all the way through GK to get to Action. And it looks like he's going to be successful with it. He got quite far. And shot's going to be coming in, though, from Meku against Box. They still need to have a little bit of a movement themselves and actually get rid of Box before they can really make a meal of this.
And let's see what Box is planning to do. They are holding the north side of that circle. They do have that entire road up ahead of them, a lot of different checkpoints that they can go to in order to do that, but they got to leapfrog. They got to cover each other and push little by little. Meanwhile, you got Gladiators, Kitsune on the other side of the north here with the rest of his team. Buggy's on fire. Gonna have to make a push, most likely into Infinity IQ in the next few seconds.
Where are we going? If Fireflux gets this on their compound, I swear. That farm compound is so strong. The only vulnerability it has really is actually where Infinity IQ is, as the circle's about to pop.
See where it goes. Are we gonna see it head on over to?
Oh, it's in.
It's pretty dead center here, so Fireflux not gonna move a muscle for now. Meanwhile, Vampire finding that center position along with Alter Ego. So they are looking to just kind of share those compounds and just wait it out. Very, very strong decision from both these teams.
Alongside the swamp, those two can see one another, and they've not. Vampire really wanted to push and get rid of them earlier on, but they didn't do so whilst that stalwart fight was going on. You see Twisted Minds here down south trying to get rid of 628. They, unfortunately for them, with a circle like this, which I would consider a decent circle for their drop spot, have been kind of slow on the uptake down at the south and haven't been able to really get much going there.
No, you could see an off angle from Sunan on 628 on the west side of the map. So you could see them just trying to hunt down a position, but at a certain point, they're going to have to make the push, just like we saw D plus Kia do, but Satan was just waiting for him.
Yeah, very, very scary. 628 might try and just barrel into the position of Twisted Minds, but likewise, I think Alpha 7 is also thinking to make a move now. So there's one really important location here that I need to talk about, which is technically, yes, Fireflux's compound's really good, but the most important part about their compound is having people also above it perched, so you don't allow teams to get a high ground overlook on you. That's why we're seeing some of them, like Soul K and Solus, take that spot. But here comes a fight.
Here comes a battle here as we're starting to see 628 desperately trying to find a position in the zone. They're going to have to do it the hard way. They're going to have to push up onto Twisted Mind. Here we go, Esteez. I think he accidentally ran into that tree, but was able to get away for the time being. He did get a lot of information for his team. I think they realized that Twisted Mind is hurt, so I'm not surprised if we see them push this. Yep, here they come.
Goes for an 8. Both teams charging it up. Good to go. He was already able to hit a little bit on them. And at the same time, trying their best here is Gladiators against Box. It's a very slow fight down towards the bottom. Rejects goes down, though.
Yeah, Reject Tokyo eliminated. That's still 12 teams remaining. We transfer on over to this battle. We're going to watch Box Gaming throw some smokes here. Getting prepared for a push that we'll see probably in the next 3 or 4 minutes. I'm really interested to see this fight, though. Here we go. Easy, holding the Shack down with that DBS. The angle's coming in, though, from Zing. He's going to hit these shots eventually, though. Yep, here they go. Molly comes out from Easy. Very well executed from 628.
Yeah, forces him out with the burn, and Roll Kiss here in the distance as well. They know where he is. He's also being shot from a Mafioso. There, Alpha 7 is rocking up on this fight. They could clear out 628.
Alpha 7 had their ears all the way up. They heard that third party, and all it took was a nade to finish that off. And Alpha 7, with some beautiful timing, clear out the entire south side of the circle.
Opportunistic. Love it. This is a great move from them to be able to get themselves well on the board. Meanwhile, still Gladiators and Box holding each other dead to rights up at the top. You can't move that much into those fields, because if you do, as both of these teams, you'll find yourself in lines of sight of Fireflux, in lines of sight of potentially some of the Vampires members as well. They're going to try and make the move a little bit forward to keep their cars in the circle as time goes on. But it's a ticking time bomb. I don't know how they solve this without opening themselves up to a lot of the lobby.
You have to make a commitment at a certain point.
Yeah.
I think they have to just go ahead and go over that hill with that UAS and commit on Gladiators. But at the same time, I think they want to see some teams go out first to possibly secure themselves at least a couple of placement points. Next 2 teams to go out, Kalaris, goose egg in placement points.
Rough stuff here. GK looking over towards Falcon as well. Gets the pixels of just ahead bobbing about. Goes for some shots. Doesn't quite hit things, but Falcon has got some fear in him here.
Falcons looking to...
Big commit.
Yes, huge commitment here from GK. They're going to be making that full send on into this next circle. Most likely looking to push the Falcons. Meanwhile, Vampire up onto Box, battling it out as Box tried to make that send. They lose a couple players with that blind rotation.
Yeah, it's a bold move, Cotton, and it's not really going to work out for a Box. I mean, they go ahead of Gladiators, hoping that this little lip is going to work out for them, but they were completely shut down. And again, it was Vampires that actually were able to get some of those winning shots on them, as GK once again spraying violently at Falcons. One team has to come in from this angle. Which one's it going to be?
Ragnar just doing some blind shots through the smoke, and does connect, and I believe that is Team Falcons out of there.
GK, some great shots coming in here, just understanding there's only a few spots that their opponents could be in. Not only ransack that, but here comes Gladiators as well, trying to ransack the position of Fireflux, and they're gone as fast as they enter. It's a strong compound. They're holding it down well with the 2-2, and this could be a winning position if they're able to carry it forward into fields later on.
So yeah, trying to push against this squad, it ain't going to be easy. And meanwhile, we see Alter Ego, who's had a heck of a tournament so far, currently in first place, just happy to share this with Vampire. They say, nah, you guys look on this side, we'll look on this one, and we'll meet each other in the late game. These guys are doing a great job of holding this down.
That late game might come soon, man. I mean, with Alter Ego's compound slowly being pushed out here, it might come soon. We've got Soulgate as well, taking some shots, has to fall on back. The one thing that's great about this compound is you can just sit in between the compound and some of that terrain, and look at that. I mean, Alter Ego, I don't know. There's no way to be able to survive this.
Yeah, that zone popping off of them. Now the sharing the rent agreement has expired.
Yes,
so
we were evicted.
Vampire has served them their eviction notice and is making a pay. Meanwhile, Octa says, nah, I made some payments earlier on. I want a piece of this action. He's going to throw some smokes, looking to press up here.
He's come back to pick up some of his belongings.
Yes, he is.
That's right.
Yes, he has. He says, I left some stuff here. You have to let me back in. Rosemary saying the same thing, saying, nah, we were roommates. Come on.
This is going far.
Give us the keys. Give us the keys. But Vampire, cease and desist delivered.
And there may be a cease and desist from Soulcade for a second. No, he's not going to take those shots. ducks on behind. Rosemary is not willing to take the shot, the long-range shot from across. Probably could have finished him, to be honest, or at least knocked him, I should say.
Yeah.
But Solus still trying to hold this lip. As I say, this is the one vulnerability that this compound has. They don't have anybody on that side. They're going to be very concerned about how Alpha 7 is moving. Are they going to move hard west into them is the question.
Oh, Octa getting one. Meanwhile, Schweppes is right there at the tree. He does have a couple of nades. A beautiful Molotov comes out quick. That forces Octa to come out. And Schweppes serves the notice to Alter Ego as they're looking to possibly pass them up on the leaderboards.
The final notice.
That's right.
Get on out of there.
Get out of here.
And for now, we have Vampire, one knocked. They're going to have to try and move into the field south of them. There is a lip in terms of actually going for this, but GK moving up. That's very bold.
Flying on down the hill. And here comes GK with a full send. Meanwhile, Tony K looking to pick up some players on the action. Meanwhile, Action is holding down the shack, saying, "Nuh-uh, this is my place. This is my shack."
He's insane. He's insane. The S12K was doing a lot of work. Then he actually saw the feet as he came out of the shack. He knows he's there. He's charging up an 8. If he gets this.
Low toss?
If he gets this.
Ooh.
Oh, he moved. Oh!
Pieces him up. Pieces him up. Oh, so close. Satan barely getting the better of him, but all his entire squad gone just like that.
Unbelievably close. You've got to be careful of those shotguns when you're going into a shack like that. Meanwhile, Lutz is going to pepper the position of Alpha 7, who did not go west. It's going to end up folding down to a Fireflux versus Vampire standoff here.
Lutz with a beautiful off angle. I mean, this guy has the spot. Meanwhile, Alpha 7 just stuck with their car wall. Oh, Solus looking for some toes.
Okay.
All eyes are on Alpha 7. They're getting picked apart. Yep, and just like that, they're gone.
And it was Vampire that shut it down. Already, Vampire seized the initiative. They moved up and took 2 hay bale locations against Fireflux, who have not seized any opportunity to try and get out of this compound. You can spray into these hay bales all you want, but if you get pushed by the blue here and Vampire survives behind those hay bales, it is going to be difficult for Fireflux to find a spot to claim that as their own in these fields.
Vampire very focused right now on taking this last player from GK Esports. Satan holding the shack. That smoke is just there to blind them from throwing nades into those windows. He's going to go ahead and get out of that shack. A great play because he knows that utility is most likely coming his way. So Vampire, 2-2 split right now.
Yep.
Two players focused on Fireflux. Meanwhile, one focused on GK right behind him.
Exactly. You have to keep an eye on him. And Fireflux is going to move down with vehicles, use some of these smokes as well now to try and find themselves a spot. That looks like they're doing it successfully so far. Satan being in that spot makes it a little bit easier for Fireflux to make this move because they just don't have as many eyes on the Fireflux rotate.
Oh my gosh, that rotation for Fireflux makes things that much more difficult because now you have to focus on them instead of Satan from GK. So they are within nade range. Here comes Soul K. Throw in some util. Ooh. He's got 3 nades and a Molotov to his name, so plenty of utility. Meanwhile, Satan left the shack. Where did he go? He's a magician. He's out of there.
Look at him. Crawling along. Sneaky snake.
Sneaky snake. He snuck out. He threw down that, almost like a ninja, throwing down that smoke and just ejected out of there.
I will say there's a slight curve on this field that allowed Fireflux to get out of there a little bit more unscathed than I thought they were going to. So that has helped them considerably. Nice nade to open things up.
Soul K with a huge nade. That was an eviction notice. Here it comes to one more. Right onto Schweppes. Schweppes down barely to 20% HP. You know he's got to have another.
Oh, no.
Oh, the beautiful anger from Soul K.
Oh.
Now it's down to 2 players left from Vampire.
They fanned out fantastically in this field, and they are not giving them a second's notice as another nade will come in, finishing them off here from Ketch. Going to be wildly spraying towards that, but it's not going to work on out here. Ravenclaw goes down as well. Fireflux is all over this one.
Tony K going down. That is Fireflux clutching up the win. Beautifully done for them. What a way to finish. I mean, Vampire Esports racking up a whole lot of eliminations, and Not to mention, Satan securing such a high placement, those are some solid points for his team.
Definitely, definitely. Circle 2-3. I'm talking about Fireflux and that compound. That farm compound is extremely powerful in this location. They were able to defend it well, making sure teams were coming from the west to try and encroach on their territory. And then towards the east, there's nothing. You're just able to finish it up here, Hot Jukes.
Yes, beautifully done indeed, guys. What a match. 3 more matches left to go today. Don't go nowhere.